New York Rangers defeat the Philadelphia Flyers by a score of 4-1 and improve to 14-4-3. They've won 8 of their last 9. They deal the Flyers their 7th straight loss. So the Rangers have done well in divisional play since they lost opening night to the Capitals. The Rangers, they're playing winning hockey. Not much more to it than that. Getting great goaltending from Igor Shesterkin, who, again, is the number 1 star of this game. And he was definitely relied upon at key moments in this one. But the Rangers hadn't played in a while. And they came out – I mean, the first period was really good for the Rangers. And you never know how you're going to play. You could be rusty, but they were more fresh than anything. And this is 6 wins in a row at home. So they started out with an overtime loss to the Stars, and they lost to the Flames, and now 6 straight at home. So the Garden is becoming, a bit of a home ice advantage as well lately. They're just playing, like I said, very well. And they are, at this point, right now, in the upper echelon, of the Eastern Conference. Certainly the division, where right now they're hanging in there with the likes of Carolina and Washington. Will that last? We'll see. I'm definitely more and more optimistic as I watch this team. They did a great job of protecting leads where they have a lead going into the third period. They had troubles at one point, when I think about Vancouver, Edmonton. But lately, they get a lead and they're able to close it out. I mean, sometimes it's, not as pretty as others, but, really in this one, things got a little bit interesting heading into the third. The Rangers were able to play kind of somewhat of a boring style. I mean, and Shesterkin wasn't really all that much tested in the third. Point is that, under Gallant, they're definitely just a more responsible, I wouldn't call them defensive-minded necessarily, but they are, top 5 in the league in terms of goals against per game. So does that speak to Shesterkin? Yes, but I think it also does speak to the overall team play. So in this one, the Rangers get an early power play as Julien Gauthier is high-sticked about 2 minutes into the game by Morgan Frost. And Gauthier, I think, that line wasn't as noticeable tonight, but certainly a very important penalty that Gauthier draws as the Rangers score on it. And it actually was not the first unit. It was the first goal of the season for the second power play unit. And it was a good move by Gallant as the first power play unit did not look good. And so he puts on the second unit and they score, like I said, and it's Jacob Trouba. He scores his 4th of the season from Kakko and Lundqvist. So Trouba getting into the goal scoring act and putting up points, and it's been a very nice, well-rounded season from Jacob Trouba. I mean, honestly, I would say as good as he's played as a New York Ranger. I mean, there were some good moments, I think, for me at least, like when he first became Ranger very early, but it quickly kind of went south, at least in my opinion. And I think so far this season, in the first 21 games, I think this is as good as we've seen Trouba as a blue shirt. So that makes it 1-0. But the Rangers would add on, and it would be a goal by Dryden Hunt. And Dryden Hunt has certainly taken advantage of an opportunity with the Rangers. I think if you had asked most people to project out the rosters for this season, I don't think anyone would have really had Dryden Hunt on this team, maybe as a 13th, 14th forward. But he's on a line with Panarin and Strome, and Hunt scores his 3rd of the season from Panarin and Fox, and that makes it 2-0. This was a very good period by the Rangers. I was really thoroughly impressed. This was, they deserved that 2-0 lead. They had 15 shots on goal. They were peppering Carter Hart, and a really good job. And they continued that into the second. They absolutely did. As 34 seconds in, it's the 16th goal of the season for Chris Kreider. Kreider just, 16 goals in 21 games. He has the 3rd most goals in all the National Hockey League. He's not stopping. Maybe this is the year he I mean, he's a veteran now in this league, but maybe this actually is the year that he truly breaks out. And if health can stay on his side, he could do so. And the interesting thing is that Mika Zibanejad, who gets an assist on this goal, Kreider from Kakko and Zibanejad, the second assist for Kakko. And I love the way he's playing. I mean, the points are increasing for him. You got to remember, he went, what was it, his first 10 games with no points. Now, all of a sudden, he's getting points almost every night. He did not against Boston, but he has, within this, like I said, this 8 out of 9 stretch, he's been a major, major part of that. And like I said, my point about Kreider, Zibanejad, he still has not really found his game. And yet Kreider has 16 goals. And Zibanejad has 13 assists. And a lot of that, I'm sure out of Zibanejad's 13 assists, I'm sure quite a few of those are on those Kreider goals. But, still. So it's 3-0. And then the game takes a turn. And the game takes a turn on what I felt was an extremely questionable call. At 1:56 of the second, Dryden Hunt, it's a 5-minute major for charging and a game misconduct. Did not agree with this call whatsoever. Justin Braun was bleeding. Unfortunately, got cut. He definitely hit him. I mean, clearly. But, I think that really should have been maybe a 2-minute penalty. For a 5-minute major and a game misconduct to me was extremely excessive. It didn't look like a charging penalty. I don't know. I think that's just a matter of seeing Braun, bleeding pretty badly. And I don't know. Not a great call. Glad it didn't come out to bite him, but it definitely did change the game completely. And the Rangers were able to kill off that 5-minute power play. And a huge reason was Shesterkin. Over the course of that power play, he made a bunch of really key saves. He was simply phenomenal. You're confident with him. I'm sure the Ranger fans feel this way. He just looks very solid. And like I've continued to say, he has been one of the best goalies in the league. And he is proving that out game after game. So it stays 3-0 until it's the first goal of the season for Morgan Frost. Frost scores at 9:37. So that cuts the lead to 3-1. And so the game has turned. The Flyers, even though they didn't score on that power play, they used the momentum. And they cut the lead to 2. And then the Rangers had a failed power play attempt where Frost actually, again, a high-sticking penalty as he high-sticks Trouba, but the Rangers don't score on this one. And then late in the period, K'Andre Miller takes a cross-checking penalty. The Rangers would kill this off going into the third. And the Rangers, really were outplayed in the second period. They were. In the third period, though, they did what they had to do. I thought it was a pretty impressive third period for the most part. Again, Shesterkin wasn't tested, and the Rangers just did a good job. It got a little bit interesting as Adam Fox took a delay of game penalty with a little more than 4 minutes left in the game. And, I feel like Fox lately, the defense has been, he won the Norris Trophy for good reason. Not because he's good offensively, but he's good defensively as well. But I think the defense has been a little bit suspect, but he's still so good. And, him and Ryan Lindgren is such a good D pair that you really don't notice it too much. But, right there, a rough delay of game penalty, but the Rangers are able to get the job done. They kill off the penalty. And then Artemi Panarin scores an empty net goal. And deservedly so for Panarin. Panarin was really all over the ice. He's been very, very good again. And so any fears that maybe there'd be a drop-off in play, no, it was just the beginning of the season, he wasn't really quite sharp, and he's totally picked it up. He's a threat every time he's on the ice. And him and Strome really have a good connection. And Strome's point streak does come to an end in this game. But the two of them look really good together. And the Rangers win at 4-1. As Igor Shesterkin gets 33 saves. So just continues to really amaze. And big divisional win, 7 straight losses now for the Flyers. They're in a bit of trouble. And the Rangers, like I said, 14-4-3. And it's impressive. It's to the point now where the record, it's matching up to the play lately. Whereas when they were winning games early in the season, they didn't really deserve it. Now it's well earned. And so now they have a back-to-back against the Sharks, who are they faced the Devils, they beat them. Then they're playing the Islanders, and then the next night they're playing the Rangers. So you may get a tired Shark team. The Rangers will be getting their starter, James Reimer, whereas the Islanders will be getting their backup, Aiden Hill. So it'll be Reimer, and then the Rangers will play the Blackhawks the next night, and then the Rangers play the Blackhawks again in Chicago on Tuesday. So some Western Conference opponents coming up here. In fact, I think, right, and then the Rangers play Colorado. So a lot of Western Conference opponents, but the next two are at home, and the next 3 out of 4 at home as well. So we'll see if they can continue playing well at the Garden. But then again, the Rangers continue their winning ways as they beat the Flyers 4-1.